Okay, let me tell you a story. It's about a man who had everything, and then, just like that, lost it all. This isn't some ancient myth. This is the real, insane story of Roman Abramovich, his unbelievable rise, and his spectacular ruin. So, we all know this one, right? Elon Musk. He goes out and buys Twitter. The price tag? A casual $44 billion. I mean, that's a number so big, it kind of breaks your brain. But what if I told you that in the world we're about to enter, $44 billion is cute? Yeah, it's nothing. But there was this other guy, a man with $15 billion, who was absolutely convinced he was safe, completely untouchable. He thought his money was an impenetrable fortress. You see, it was more than just the money. He thought he was Vladimir Putin's friend. And that, right there, was his biggest mistake. He was wrong, dead wrong. And with just one single phone call, his entire world just vanished. So how in the world does someone build an empire that's so massive, yet so incredibly fragile? Well, it all goes back to where the money came from. Let's take a look inside. Putin's pocket. Now, most of us just know him as the billionaire owner of Chelsea Football Club, right? But his real money, his real power, that was made on a football pitch. No, it was forged back in the absolute chaos of 1990s Russia during something called the Aluminum Wars. It was total anarchy, and the only rule was basically kill the goons and take the factory. And this is the key to the whole story. You gotta understand, Abramovich wasn't some business genius. He worked for Putin. If Putin wanted a factory, Abramovich took it. It's that simple. He wasn't an entrepreneur, he was Putin's jeb, his wallet, his pocket. His wealth wasn't really his, it was on loan. And a loan can always be called in. And being Putin's pocket, well, it bought him a lifestyle that you and I can barely even dream of. It bought him a $1.5 billion fortress that floats on the ocean. Just look at that number. That's the price of his yacht. $1.5 billion for a boat. So what does $1.5 billion get you? Oh, just the world's largest private yacht, the Eclipse. It's got 2 helipods, of course, an anti-paparazzi laser system to blind photographers, and, get this, a missile defense system. I'm not kidding. A military-grade system to shoot missiles out of the sky. This wasn't a yacht, it was a warship. He had it all. A floating fortress, billions in cash, and what he thought was the protection of one of the most powerful men on Earth. He was safe, right? He was completely safe. Until he wasn't. And look how fast it all fell apart. February 2022. The war in Ukraine starts. The West promises to sanction Putin's allies. And apparently Abramovich just laughed. He thought, no way, not me. 1 month later, bam, the UK freezes everything. His entire $15 billion fortune, frozen. The yacht, seized. His beloved Chelsea Football Club, forced to sell. Everything he built, just gone. And what about today? Well, he's in hiding. Reports say he is terrified that his old boss, Putin, is gonna have him poisoned. Think about that. From a billion-dollar fortress with a missile defense system to being scared of a cup of tea. So, what's the lesson in all of this? What does this story really tell us? It boils down to one simple question. Was this man a king or was he just a pawn? This says it all, doesn't it? If you're just rich, like Elon Musk, your money is your own. You're the king of your own castle. But if your money only exists because you're Putin's friend, you are not a king. You're a pawn in his chess game, and everyone knows what happens to pawns. They can be sacrificed. Roman Abramovich had $15 billion, but in the end, it was worth nothing. He had no real power at all. Which makes you wonder, what is the true price of power if it can all be taken away with just a single phone call?